welcome to the Prince Magnum channel, where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to kind of an update video for the new year. As I'm making of this video, it is now January 1st, 2025. Holy shit. Right, guys? So I know right now those of you who are die-hard fans of the Prince Magnum channel. Prince Magnum, I'm a supporter of the channel. I'm a member of the Maverick Nation. What do you got in store for us? What is it that Prince Magnum has in store for us? The viewer. And there's a lot of stuff that we just got to go over, okay? And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, 365 days is a lot of time, when you can pump out content. Pretty much right around the holidays, you guys know that the channel we didn't necessarily go dark, but we didn't put out a whole lot of stuff like we had been putting out. We've been putting out a lot of stuff, towards the tail end of the year. But we had to hold back a little bit. I've got some content that I've been saving for a little while that goes all the way back to 2023. I had to save it because living where I was, the internet, we were paying for you've all heard the story, we were paying for internet that was the best in the area. It wasn't that good. So we came to the conclusion that I would sit on that content until the time was right. And now I've got some content, I've got to release that content and that sort of thing. But on top of that, we've also had where we're getting ready to kick off a brand new video game series. And I know some of you are saying video game series, this is still a DIY channel. Well, yeah, and there's a reason for this video game series. Right now, the big thing that a lot of the gamers are doing is they're playing Gran Turismo 7. And a lot of you, I've seen it, looks good, but we're going to do something very interesting, is we're going to turn the clock back. You guys know I like my retro games. So we're going to turn the clock back to Gran Turismo 2, because believe it or not, I've been street racing for a while, but I picked up a copy of Gran Turismo 2 after reading a Hot Rod magazine where they reviewed the game themselves and was impressed with the fact that it really is a driving simulator. And that kind of being said, being a driving simulator, I thought, well, this is perfect. If I want to get better at street racing, this will be the way to do it. Start learning some techniques. And I spent a lot of time playing that game, and I got really good at it. And in turn, my driving got better. Okay? So now that you guys kind of have that I guess you could say in the foreground, we're going to be using Gran Turismo 2 while showing you, I'm going to use it as a way to also kind of teach some old world hot rodding, hot rodding stuff. And what do I mean by that? Well, by using an old driving simulator and its retro games, I can also teach automotive at the same time. So now we have our crossover where I can talk hot rodding and I can talk gaming. So for those of you that, on one side of the gaming world that says, well, I want to learn more about cars. I've been playing this racing game. I'd like to learn more about cars. Well, now we can do that with something you already enjoy. And for the guys that are on the other side that sometimes look down their nose at the gaming world, the Prince Magnum channel does recognize the fact that sometimes bringing more people into the car genre, the automotive world, sometimes begins with something as simple as a video game, a movie, things like, or other car channels out there that are really not car channels. That's a subject that will also come up at some point during this year. So expect Gran Turismo 2 to begin showing up on your, for the videos that I'll be putting out. Along with that, we are definitely going to be continuing with the Minecraft series. I know a lot of you guys out there have been enjoying the chill vibes in the Minecraft series. And we're going to keep that up because a lot of people have been getting a lot of good out of it. Some people have said they enjoy the game, the gameplay. They're learning some kind of some older techniques that will help them with their current builds. Some stuff that they've been too busy watching all the stuff since Minecraft was bought out by Microsoft, so they're very familiar with it. But like a lot of the older techniques that are kind of not as popular as they once were when the game was still in beta form and all that, they're picking up on that. But along with that, a lot of people have just been enjoying the chill vibes. And, I enjoy presenting Minecraft like that. I was really getting kind of upset with how the Minecraft community had started turning toxic. And this is kind of my answer to it, because even though this channel is primarily DIY, which we'll get to that in a second, for everybody, the best way I know how to put it is, it started turning, kind of toxic, and we've seen it more and more with other content creators, but I didn't want to go down that path. And I want to try to bring the Minecraft community back to where it's supposed to be, which is supposed to be a very chill community. I don't know where these toxic people are coming from, but I really don't like it. But along with that, again, we're back to Minecraft. I use Minecraft as a way to also, again, bridge the gap between the gamers and the DIYers, and there's a reason for that. There's some gamers out there, they really can't get out there and do their own projects like I can, where I can go out and work on Project Spirit. Well, not right now, it's too friggin' cold. Or I can go out and work on Project Lena, or I can, get out there and do little projects that are important to me. Sometimes I'll go out there and trim all the trees, cut up all the tree branches and everything, and then do like a little fire pit in the backyard for the whole family and I to enjoy. Little projects like that. For some people, they're not capable of doing that. Okay, for some of the people, right here in the Maverick Nation, they're not able to do that. I have a dear friend that getting out and doing something like that could cause him to have a seizure. Are we to say that him enjoying a video game is not DIY at that point? Absolutely, it is DIY at that point. So we're going to continue down that path using Minecraft to, again, bridge the gap between the DIY folks and the folks that on the other side who are in the gaming world. Because we have to, the Prince Magnum channel has to recognize that, unfortunately, the way the world works is it's not always perfect. There's gray areas, and we're dancing in that gray area now. But what about so now we know what's going on in the gaming world. Obviously, we're going to be, continuing. Now, I know some of you have been asking about when's the next Perfect Dark series. And the ones of you that have been asking, there's really only 2 of you right now. That series went dead very quickly, and I'm not 100% sure why. I figured the retro game community would enjoy it, but it's just one of those things that sometimes that happens. Sometimes a series will fall dead. If we get more than a couple of you asking for it, if we get more asking for it, then yes, we will continue on with the series. I know exactly where we're at, and we'll definitely continue on. But for right now, it's just not in the cards at the moment. But we're not closing the series. We're just letting it fall quiet for now. When there's more of an interest, we'll definitely go on further with it. Along with that, the big series that I know everybody wants to ask about, do-it-yourself budget hot rodding. Let's get this out in the open right now. We've got an unboxing. Well, I've already unboxed it. I've already seen what's inside the box, but you guys haven't. So it'll be an unboxing for you guys to see, and it's some wonderful stuff that came from my dear friend, ThirdGen83, who also has a gorgeous looking Maverick. Gorgeous looking car. Uh, so I will say to you guys, we've got that, we've got that whole, um, we've got a whole bunch of stuff that, we have to show you that's gonna be going on Project Spirit. There's more yet to come. Tax season's right here, okay? And, the Patreon has been doing a little bit better. So we've got some stuff to put back into Project Spirit, without question. So to all of my Patreons, thank you guys so much. If it hadn't been for you guys, continually helping out where you can, that's, believe me, it probably hit us a little bit harder once taxes come in. Along with that, again, special thank you to Third Gen 83 because he sent me some really cool stuff that'll definitely go great on Project Spirit. But that's not all that's going on. Tax season rolls around. We already have it set up with a shop. That Project Spirit will be going to a shop to, for one thing, have several things kind of looked over. We're going to have brake lines looked over. We're going to have a brake booster put on it. We're just going to go ahead and, it's really, there's only 4 bolts on the master cylinder, well, 2 bolts on the master cylinder, you remove from the wall. You take and bolt everything, bolt the brake booster in and hook it up to the back of your pedal, your brake pedal, and then you put the master cylinder back on. Woo, big hairy deal, right? So we're just going to skip all that. And we're going to have brakes checked over, brake booster. Along with that, we're even going to go to the next level and have an entirely new wiring harness installed. And we're going to look at getting that through painless wiring. Now, what company will provide that, whether it's like Summit Racing, JAGS, or something like that, it kind of depends, okay? It's one of those things, it's going to kind of depend. Also, the weather has been slowing us down on Project Spirit, but we definitely, we're pretty well ready to start putting her back together. I just got to wait for a decent day where, the missus is home and can help, help take care of the little one. And the weather is decent outside, so that's definitely, but once we're there, we'll be able to drop that new radiator in, start getting everything hooked up, and then we can get her moved inside the garage. Along with that, we now also have a couple other smaller projects with 2 of the other project cars. The channel now has a total of 4. One of them you guys won't see for another couple of years. We'll talk about it when we get there, but for right now, all that you need to know is that it exists, okay? So there's one other one. No, so besides Project Spirit, which is number 2, which we just talked about Project Spirit, we also got to do some work to Project Lena. Once again, one of those freak, that seems to be a thing on this channel, freak accidents, okay? Princess Starsong on her way home, and it was a hit and run. Someone hit Project Lena and took off. Now, it didn't do a whole lot of damage, but they did enough where now I have no choice. I got to spend some time replacing parts. So we got to do the bumper covering. We're going to do the bumper. We're going to do that little bracket up underneath all of that holds the headlights in place, and we've got to replace one of the headlights because it no longer locks into place like it's supposed to. While we're also at it, we're going to see if we can get some other additional stuff for Project Lena, get some things squared up, because 2 of her windows don't roll down properly anymore. And we're going to see turn signals are wearing out, so we got to replace there's like a little relay switch inside the dash. We've got to replace that. It's like $10. And along with that, we've got to do this where it connects into the fans for the cooling unit. There's like a resistor or something that's wearing out, so it doesn't kick on as soon as it normally does. So we got to get that taken care of as well. So that kind of covers all that. We're also going to see about redoing the air conditioning system, because when we hit that dog a couple of years ago, it kind of busted up one of the condensers, so the AC doesn't work anymore. Not that I need it, but everyone else thinks they need it. So that's Project Lena. We're definitely going to be getting into Project Lena more this year. because there's a lot of things that we want to get squared away. And this car, Project Lena, is supposed to also be a show car. Now, really quick, I want to reiterate, Project Lena is a show car. Now, some people will say, well, she's just better off as a daily driver. That is a 2003. The filming of this video is 2025. That means that this April, Project Lena is 22 years old. In another 3 years, by federal guidelines here in the United States, she will be considered an antique. Okay? So once you keep, again, those of you who are detractors of Project Lena being starred next to Project Spirit as a show car, bear in mind, again, we're talking that she is a classic car now. So because she's a classic car, that means that pretty much we can do whatever we want, just like we did with the cars that we oftentimes call classic that long since passed antique, like Project Spirit. Thank you. Get that out of the way again. Along with that, we had introduced last year Project Pearl. Project Pearl has got some issues. She's got some front end problems that no one could anticipate, and it got bad, and there was a little bit of an accident. So we've got some stuff to fix on her before she can hit the road again. More on that in another video later. Okay, that's later. So those are the 4 project cars. One of them you won't see, Project Spirit. We've got a lot lined out for her this year, and provided the tax money is good and solid, we should have her on the road by, I'm thinking, at least somewhere between spring and early summer, okay, in that ballpark area. And we'll be back to getting content from Project Spirit, which is what I enjoy, okay? Now, let's address the series that I know our ladies are all curious about. And you guessed it, that is the Shades of Romance series, okay? We kicked that series off, and it got a little difficult trying to do the series while, while your other half is very pregnant. I'm not saying that kids change it all that much. The only time it should really change anything is if you let it change it. But it got difficult. Well, let me kind of start from the top. It got difficult last year doing it, that series, because as we got closer to the end of the pregnancy, it got, I would say, between work and because you got to work as much as you can before the baby gets here, because if not, the expenses, need we say, more. So we had to work a lot, and it made it very difficult doing the series. So we had to treat it as such. Along with that, doing the series, once the series came out, well, when I would be home with the little one, it got very, when Aurora was awake, it was difficult to stay, to be able to get a lot of content out. And the Prince Magnum channel had long since outgrown the original HQ. We had outgrown it, and it got to the point where it was hard to do videos in that apartment. So we had to, obviously we had to move. Now that we've got more room, it's a matter of, now that we have all this room, it's like, almost like, what do I do now? I've got this room. Hey, your content, fool. So, now that we have that established, looking at the series, we're going to do as much as we can for education purposes, we've got a lot to talk about in, that series. We're going to be diving into, healthier eating. We're going to dive into, obviously we've got Valentine's Day right around the corner, things like that. We've got a lot going on as far as that series goes, including, yes, you ladies will get more of your shorts. It seems like the super shorts have become very popular with a lot of our lady mavericks, and by all means, if you ladies are watching them, I will continue making them to the best of my ability until I run out of ideas, which I think I've got a few left tucked away. Along with that, we've got the content of, speaking of, the content video that I need to make that talks about the reasoning behind the Super Shorts dad editions. There's actually a purpose behind it. We'll get to that soon enough. Okay. Some of you might be asking, I know at first everyone, there was a lot of mixed thoughts about, what was going on there. There's, I guess you could say, there was something that I have in mind, and you ladies are going to appreciate it. I don't know how the guys are going to feel, but then again, the romance series is for you ladies anyways. I mean, anymore. It's a way to remind everyone that, my better half is Princess Starsong, and I love her very much. While at the same time showing off that, fixing the tank on my mod, and of course, there's going to be a lot of information to take in on that video. Why I did the dad editions like that. By all, I know a lot of you have had the theories about it, but there's a specific reason for it. Okay, and let's see, we covered that. Okay, now we need to talk about everybody's, well, not everybody's, but just about everybody's favorite character, Cinnamon. Now, Cinnamon has, has become quite the, I wouldn't say that she's like a folk hero or something like that, but she has done a lot of good. I know there's a lot of folks that appreciate the character, that enjoy the character. The plan has been to get her on a more routine schedule. Now, with Princess Starsong, she works a lot, and I have never been that kind of a makeup artist. Before my stroke, I could do makeup decent, but it wasn't that good. But now that we're, I've had to come to the reality that I can, that I am only so good. So I have to rely on someone else. Princess Starsong has definitely taken over Cinnamon's look, but that now being said, she works a lot. So we're trying to get it lined out where there's a regular schedule. Now, it might get jockeyed around a little bit, but we're still settling into that pocket. But we're designating at least every other weekend is a Cinnamon weekend. One day we'll be playing Star Trek Online, and I'll be collabing with Spirit Wolf, or should I say Cinnamon will be collabing with him, and they're hanging out, having a good time, or that's the plan. And then following it up on a Sunday with a Cinnamon makeup live, where she'll be live on camera to talk to you guys and answer the questions. Now, really quick, for those of you who are fairly new to the Maverick Nation, you're not familiar with Cinnamon. Cinnamon is a drag queen character that I play. And I say drag queen because it's a guy playing a woman. We'll definitely have to dive into the thought process behind kind of creating the character and where some of my inspiration is, because there's a lot of inspiration that went into that character and a lot of the folks who even helped along the way, and why she exists and what purpose does she serve on the channel. We're definitely going to dive into all of that. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with that character. Just understand that myself and everybody in the community, the Maverick Nation, they treat Cinnamon as her own person. So even though it's a character that I play, Cinnamon does actually exist and is as real as life to a lot of folks. So if you're new to the channel, you'll see Cinnamon brought up regularly, and you'll definitely at some point probably run into her content or one of her live streams. Cinnamon plays well, working, kind of working with other, with other folks, and so just kind of expect that if she's in a live stream with someone, it's going to get very funny, very funny. Okay, so we've covered some of the video game content. We've covered that big time. Okay, we have covered, the car content. Just expect Project Spirit, Project Lena, and Project Pearl, 3 out of 4 of the projects, to definitely get some showcase time, so we can hopefully teach those of you out there more about cars. We've got a lot of stuff lined up for the romance series. Just expect some sub-series, basically like mini-series, as I've called them in the past. Basically, it's like, this is the series, but then we're going to add in other stuff. Expect other stuff besides just cooking on that as well, along with more additional shorts and an explanation for the Dad Edition Super Shorts. Along with that, expect eventually, as the year progresses, Cinnamon content to become a little bit more, a little bit more scheduled. Okay, that's been the difficult task, is to get her properly scheduled. Along with that, for the In Your Face series, we've got a lot of stuff lined up there as well. Just expect in the In Your Face series, we are going to be talking not so much, it's going to touch on politics, but it's going to touch on some stuff that you guys need to know. Basically, if you have crooked politicians in your actual community where you live, what you can do to expose them. We're also going to be talking about some discrimination that has been going on in the area, and it doesn't get talked about, and it's one of those subjects that doesn't come up as often as it should. That's right, we're going to actually have to talk about a discrimination subject that does not come up very often. So expect that one as well. Alrighty, so we have covered a lot of ground. A lot of ground. So, like I said, 365 days out of the year, or 364 and a half. And as much time as I can get in those 365 days, we're going to try to give you guys the best possible content that we can possibly give you right here on this channel. So just expect that. And this is not just so much for me, it's not just so much for the community, but the Patreons are now putting in money, a little bit more money. Some of you have even been starting to slowly buy some of the merchandise on the channel. So I gotta show you, hey, what you're putting in, thank you very much. Here's the content that you've been looking for, that sort of thing. So that's kind of where we're at on that. All right. So, again, as I just mentioned, get over to Patreon. $1 a month is all we ask, okay? $1 a month, all right? $1 a month, and that, believe it or not, will, get a couple of, get 5 of you, that's $5 a month, and I can do something with that, okay? Even if it's real teeny tiny, okay? You'd be surprised what you can do with just $5 if you're crafty, all right? And of course, and we'll definitely have to talk about it. But by becoming a member of the High Mileage Club, you get access to Cinnamon's Discord. So we'll definitely have to talk about Cinnamon's Discord a little bit. There's only so much I can tell you guys, but just know that it exists. And don't be, and kids, if you're watching this right now, I need to I need to, iterate. Don't, if you're not 18 or older, you ain't getting into this Discord, okay? So we'll leave it there. So don't be trying to steal your parents' credit card just so you can, no. If you're not 18 or older, you ain't getting in. All righty. Get over to Teespring. There's merchandise of all sizes and shapes over there. We've still got Project Spirit. We've got Project Lena. We're probably going to have to look at Project Pearl. And there's definitely Cinnamon merchandise. I'm not kidding you. We've got Cinnamon merchandise. We got merchandise, the running gag from when I played Fortnite. Chickens are people too. We've got that. We've still got the bees, from when I played Fortnite. We still got, we still got Space, Serenity, just you name it, we've got content up there. We've got, merchandise up there, and we've even got, for some of you fitness ladies, we've got yoga pants. Yes, we have yoga pants. We even got onesies for the kids. We've got merchandise, all right? So get over there, check it out. As we get closer to 2025 holiday time, some of you might have to kick me in the butt, and we'll see about getting you a code that'll get you some money off of your products, and we'll try to do that before the Black Friday sales begin. All right, so y'all are gonna have to stay on me because 365 days, I will forget something. All righty, that pretty well covers a lot of stuff. So from here, get out there and work on a project. Don't care what it is, just do something with yourselves. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet and do something special for them today. And as always, for every last one of you out there, no one out there has told you that they love you today. Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.
Wrong me, my brains are...